Samson, a name that would echo through the ages, a name that would be remembered for his incredible feats and unmatched strength. But Samson wasn't just any ordinary child. No, he was destined for greatness from the very beginning. He wasn't your average kid. While other children played games and ran around without a care in the world, Samson always seemed a bit different. There was something special about him, something that set him apart from the rest. Nope, Samson had a secret. A secret that even he didn't fully understand at first. It was a secret that would shape his entire life and lead him on a path filled with challenges and triumphs, a gift from up high. This wasn't just any ordinary gift. It was a divine gift bestowed upon him by the heavens. A gift that would make him one of the most powerful beings to ever walk the earth. Super strength. He could move mountains, or at least really big rocks. From a young age, Samson discovered that he possessed incredible strength. He could lift things that no other child could even dream of moving. An angel told Samson's parents, "Your son is special. He will be super strong." This divine messenger brought news that would change their lives forever. They knew that their son was destined for something extraordinary. He will save us from the mean Philistines. The angel's message was clear. Samson was not just strong for the sake of being strong, he had a purpose. He was to be the savior of his people, the one who would deliver them from their enemies. Growing up, Samson learned about his powers. He didn't just rely on his natural strength. He trained, he practiced, and he honed his abilities. He knew that he had a great responsibility, and he took it seriously. He practiced his super strength. He lifted heavy things. He learned to fight. Samson was determined to be the best he could be. He knew that his strength alone wouldn't be enough. He needed to be skilled. He needed to be prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. He was brave and strong. His courage was as great as his strength. Samson faced every challenge head-on, never backing down, never giving up. He knew that he had a destiny to fulfill, and he was ready to face it. Samson knew his destiny. He would be a hero. From the moment he understood his purpose, Samson was determined to be the hero his people needed. He embraced his destiny with open arms, ready to face whatever came his way. His journey was just beginning, and the world would soon know the name of Samson. As a child, Samson loved exploring the outdoors. He would climb the tallest trees and venture into the deepest parts of the forest, always pushing his limits and discovering new strengths. One day he lifted a fallen tree to help his friends. They were amazed by his strength and kindness. Samson's early feats of strength were not just about power, but also about helping those around him. Samson also trained in combat. He practiced with a wooden sword, learning the skills he would need to protect his people. His training was rigorous, but he never complained. He knew it was all part of his destiny. His speed and agility were just as impressive as his strength. Samson could outrun anyone, and he used his quickness to outmaneuver his opponents. His early feats were a testament to his dedication and hard work. Standing on a hilltop, looking over his village, Samson felt a deep sense of responsibility. He knew that his strength was a gift, and he was determined to use it for the greater good. His journey was just beginning, and the world would soon know the name of Samson. One day, Samson met a girl. She was a Philistine. Uh-oh! That's trouble. Samson wanted to marry her. He felt a deep connection with her, unlike anything he had ever felt before. But his family said no way. They were the enemy. Samson was torn. He loved her, but his loyalty to his family and people was strong. On his way to see her, a fierce lion attacked Samson. Roar! Samson used his super strength. He ripped the lion apart. Whoa! Talk about a strong guy. Later he saw honey in the lion's bones. Weird. He ate the honey. It was delicious. Samson knew this was a sign. He would defeat the Philistines. His love for the girl and his duty to his people would guide his path. The Philistines were mean. They were a fierce and relentless group, always looking for ways to dominate and control others. Their eyes were set on Samson's people, the Israelites, who were often the target of their aggression and cruelty. The Philistines took pleasure in bullying and harassing them, making their lives difficult and filled with fear. The Israelites lived under the constant threat of Philistine attacks, never knowing when the next wave of cruelty would come crashing down upon them. They were always picking on Samson's people. The Philistines' tactics were ruthless and unyielding. They would raid villages, steal crops, and destroy homes, leaving the Israelites in a state of perpetual anxiety. The Philistines' dominance was a heavy burden on the Israelites, who longed for a savior to deliver them from their oppressors. The Philistines' cruelty knew no bounds, and their actions were driven by a desire to break the spirit of the Israelites and keep them subjugated. But Samson was ready to fight. He was not just any man, he was a warrior with a divine purpose. Samson's strength was legendary, a gift from the heavens that made him a formidable opponent. He trained tirelessly, honing his skills and preparing for the inevitable confrontations with the Philistines. His determination was unwavering, and his resolve was unbreakable. Samson knew that he had a duty to protect his people and stand up against the tyranny of the Philistines. He used his strength. He fought off the Philistines. In battle after battle, Samson proved his might. His feats of strength were awe-inspiring, and his courage was unmatched. He would single-handedly take on entire groups of Philistine warriors, emerging victorious time and time again. Samson's bravery inspired his people, giving them hope in the face of overwhelming odds. He became a symbol of resistance and a beacon of hope for the Israelites. He protected his people. He was a true hero. Samson's heroism was not just in his physical strength, but also in his unwavering commitment to his people. He stood as a shield between the Israelites and their oppressors, willing to sacrifice everything for their safety. His actions were driven by a deep sense of duty and love for his people. Samson's legacy as a protector and hero was etched into the hearts of the Israelites, who saw him as their champion. But Samson had a weakness: his hair. Despite his incredible strength and bravery, Samson had a vulnerability that few knew about. His long, flowing hair was the source of his power, a secret that he guarded closely. The thought of losing his hair, and with it his strength, was a constant worry for Samson. He knew that if his enemies ever discovered this weakness, it could spell disaster for him and his people. It was the source of his strength. If his hair was cut, he would be powerless. This secret was the key to Samson's invincibility. His hair was not just a symbol of his strength, but the very essence of it. The Philistines, always scheming and looking for ways to defeat him, were unaware of this crucial detail. Samson's hair was his greatest asset and his greatest vulnerability, a double-edged sword that he had to protect at all costs. And guess what? The Philistines tricked him. They were cunning and relentless in their pursuit of victory. Through deceit and manipulation, they managed to uncover Samson's secret. The Philistines devised a plan to exploit his weakness, knowing that it was their only chance to defeat him. Their scheming was meticulous, and they waited for the perfect moment to strike, ready to bring down the mighty Samson. They cut off his hair while he was sleeping. Oh no! In the dead of night, while Samson lay in a deep sleep, the Philistines executed their plan. They crept into his camp and, with a swift and silent motion, cut off his hair. The moment the locks fell, Samson's strength drained away, leaving him powerless and vulnerable. The Philistines had finally succeeded in their quest to weaken the mighty warrior. Samson was captured. He was weak. The Philistines were victorious. With his strength gone, Samson was easily overpowered and captured by his enemies. The Philistines celebrated their triumph, reveling in the downfall of the once invincible hero. Samson's capture marked a dark day for the Israelites, who mourned the loss of their protector. The Philistines' victory was a bitter reminder of the consequences of betrayal and the fragility of even the greatest heroes. But before his capture, Samson faced many battles and challenges. He was a master strategist, always thinking several steps ahead of his enemies. Samson would gather his people, plan their defenses, and lead them into battle with precision and courage. His victories were not just physical, but also psychological, as he outwitted the Philistines time and again. Each victory had a profound impact on his people. The Israelites, inspired by Samson's leadership, began to believe in their own strength and resilience. They saw that they could stand up to their oppressors and fight for their freedom. Samson's triumphs were a beacon of hope, igniting a fire of resistance within the hearts of the Israelites. The impact of his victories was immense. The Israelites celebrated each win, their spirits lifted by the knowledge that they had a champion in Samson. His battles were not just for survival, but for the very soul of his people. Samson's legacy was built on these victories, each one a testament to his strength, strategy, and unwavering commitment to his people. Samson's story did not end with his death. His legacy lived on, passed down through generations as a powerful tale of strength, sacrifice, and redemption. The Israelites never forgot the man who stood up against their oppressors, the hero who fought for their freedom. Samson's name became a symbol of hope and resilience, a reminder of what one person can achieve when driven by faith and purpose. Samson's life teaches us many lessons. First, it shows the importance of using our gifts for the greater good. Samson's incredible strength was a divine gift, and he chose to use it to protect and save his people. His story encourages us to recognize our own unique talents and abilities, and to use them to help others. It reminds us that we all have something valuable to contribute, and that by working together and supporting one another, we can achieve great things. Second, Samson's story is a testament to the power of resilience. Despite his many challenges and setbacks, Samson never gave up. He faced his fears head-on, knowing the risks and potential consequences. His bravery was not just in his physical feats, but in his unwavering commitment to his people and his faith. He showed that true strength lies not just in physical power, but in the inner fortitude to keep going, no matter the obstacles. Finally, Samson's life is a powerful reminder that redemption is always possible. He made many mistakes along the way, but his story shows that our past does not define our future. We can learn from our errors, grow stronger, and still achieve greatness. Samson's legacy encourages us to keep striving, to keep believing, and to never give up on our dreams. Today, Samson's story continues to inspire people around the world. It is a timeless tale of courage and sacrifice, a beacon of hope for those who face their own battles. As long as there are people who seek to overcome challenges and strive for greatness, Samson's legacy will live on. His life teaches us that even when we make mistakes, we can still do great things. We can rise above our failures, find our strength, and make a positive impact on the world. So let us remember Samson, not just for his incredible feats of strength, but for the enduring lessons he left behind. Let his story inspire us to be brave, to be resilient, and to use our gifts to make a difference. For in the end, it is not just our strength that defines us, but how we choose to use it. The Philistines thought they had won. They put Samson in chains. They believed that capturing him would mark the end of his reign of strength and defiance. Samson, once a symbol of invincibility, was now a prisoner, bound and humiliated. The Philistines paraded him around, showcasing their victory to their people. They thought they had finally subdued the man who had been a thorn in their side for so long. But little did they know, this was just the beginning of a new chapter in Samson's story. They threw him in jail. They thought that was the end of Samson. The once mighty warrior was now confined to a dark, damp cell, his spirit seemingly broken. The Philistines celebrated their triumph, confident that Samson's days of causing havoc were over. They underestimated the resilience and determination that lay within him. As days turned into weeks, Samson's mind raced with thoughts of redemption and revenge. He knew that his story was far from over, and he was determined to make a comeback. But they were wrong. Samson's hair grew back. He was strong again. The Philistines had forgotten the source of his strength, his uncut hair, a symbol of his covenant with God. As his hair grew, so did his strength. Day by day, he felt his power returning, his muscles regaining their former might. The Philistines, oblivious to this transformation, continued to mock and ridicule him. They had no idea that the very thing they had overlooked would be their undoing. Samson's resolve hardened with each passing day, and he knew that the time for his final act of defiance was drawing near. In the solitude of his cell, Samson had ample time to reflect on his life. He thought about his past victories and the mistakes that led him to this point. He pondered the choices he had made and the people he had hurt. Samson realized that his strength was not just a gift, but a responsibility. He understood that his true power lay not in his muscles, but in his faith and his commitment to his people. These reflections steeled his resolve, and he began to see his captivity not as an end, but as a preparation for his ultimate sacrifice. Samson used his super strength one last time. He pushed down the pillars of the Philistine temple. In a moment of sheer willpower and divine intervention, Samson summoned all his strength. With a mighty heave, he pushed against the central pillars of the temple, the very foundation of the Philistines' power. The ground trembled as the massive stone columns began to crack and crumble. The Philistines, who had gathered to mock him, were now witnessing the resurgence of the man they thought they had defeated. Panic and chaos ensued as the temple began to collapse around them. Crash! The temple collapsed. Samson and all the Philistines were crushed. The once grand structure was reduced to rubble, burying everyone inside, including Samson. His final act of strength brought down the house of his enemies, ensuring that they would no longer oppress his people. The dust settled, and silence fell over the ruins. Samson's sacrifice was complete, and his legacy was sealed in the annals of history. He had given his life to save his people, proving that true strength lies not just in physical power, but in the willingness to make the ultimate sacrifice. Samson may have died, but he saved his people. He was a true hero. His story is one of redemption and courage, a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome even the greatest of adversities. Samson's name became synonymous with heroism, and his deeds were recounted for generations. He showed that even in the face of insurmountable odds, one could rise above and achieve greatness. His life and death became a beacon of hope and inspiration for those who came after him. Samson's story teaches us about bravery. It teaches us that true bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act in spite of it. Samson faced his fears head-on, knowing the risks and the potential consequences. His bravery was not just in his physical feats, but in his unwavering commitment to his people and his faith. He showed that courage comes in many forms, and that sometimes the bravest thing one can do is to stand up for what is right, even if it means standing alone. It teaches us about strength. Not just physical strength, but the strength of character and spirit. Samson's true strength lay in his resilience, his ability to rise after every fall, and his determination to fulfill his destiny. He showed that strength is not just about muscles and might, but about the inner fortitude to keep going, no matter the obstacles. His story reminds us that we all have a well of strength within us, waiting to be tapped into when we need it the most. And it teaches us about using our gifts to help others. Samson's strength was a gift, and he used it to protect and save his people. His story encourages us to recognize our own unique talents and abilities and to use them for the greater good. It reminds us that we all have something valuable to contribute, and that by working together and supporting one another, we can achieve great things. Samson's legacy is a call to action, urging us to use our gifts to make a positive impact in the world. Samson's story is still told today. It has been passed down through generations, a timeless tale of strength, bravery, and sacrifice. People continue to find inspiration in his journey, drawing lessons from his triumphs and his mistakes. His story has become a part of our collective consciousness, a reminder of the enduring power of the human spirit. As long as there are people who seek to overcome challenges and strive for greatness, Samson's legacy will live on. It reminds us that even when we make mistakes, we can still do great things. Samson was not perfect. He made many mistakes along the way, but his story shows that redemption is always possible, and that our past does not define our future. We can learn from our errors, grow stronger, and still achieve greatness. Samson's life is a testament to the power of perseverance and the belief that no matter how many times we fall, we can always rise again. His legacy encourages us to keep striving, to keep believing, and to never give up